Alright, guys. Okay, so today, welcome to Happy Fun Norse Mythology. This class is going to be story time again. Now, this class is mostly going to be about Odin, the All-Father. So, Odin's quest for smartness, how he became the universe's biggest control freak. Now, Odin, the All-Father, is a control freak. He needs to know everything, in order to keep everything in check. So, he needs to know everything, to control everything, right? To do so, he needs to have a big brain. Right? In order to acquire big brainness, he did two things. First, he ventured out into Jotunheim. Who remembers Jotunheim?
I don't know. It was... Don't look at me.
It means giant. So Jotun is frost giant, which is basically giant. And Jotunheim is
like
the
the
land of
frozen
giants.
world, right?
Yes. So he remember that we talked about like a well, Mimisbrunner. So that well contains knowledge of 1,000 worlds.
I think I know this story.
Why can't
Yes.
he just read books?
There's something about taking his eye or something.
That's right, that's how he lost his eye. Now he finally reached the place, right, and demanded Mimir for a drink. Now if you don't know, Mimir is Odin's uncle, right? So he says, hey, Mimir, come, I need a drink of that. There's so much in there, just give me some. Mimir told him that knowledge comes with a price. Now you need to pay that price in order to get it. And that price is one of his eyes. Odin immediately ripped out one of his eyes. It's probably the right one. Get it? Because the right one. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably the right one. His scream of pain was so loud that the entire universe heard it. So maybe because it's different timelines, right? So maybe one day you're in bed, right? You're sleeping, you're thinking of your bad grades and you're failing math class and stuff. And you suddenly hear this, oh!
It's going to be right, just like me.
and then you're gonna think, oh my God, did Chuck creep into my room or something? So
in the closet.
Mimir said, oh my God, bro, that was a joke. But he took the eye anyway and gave him the drink. So
It was a
now,
joke?
no, I guess he said. But Mimir's pretty serious. But he could have said that. You imagine the effect. Now Odin can now see clearer with one eye than with he had two. Right? So he now knows about 50% of everything. He didn't know all of it, but he knew 50%. So for example, you knew what a triangle is. It's got 3 sides. But you don't know the Pythagorean theorem. So you don't know what these sides are. Right? So, but Odin,
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
congratulations, you
You're welcome.
just became smarter than Odin for a short while.
Wow.
So he wants to know the Pythagorean, the rest of it. Yes. He is not satisfied with his 50% big brains. He needs more power. More power. With his newfound knowledge of the world, he now knows where to get more big brainness. The second thing he did, alright? This is the second thing he did. The second thing he did, he committed suicide.
What?
Yes, like actual suicide. That's Odin, right there.
Why?
Magic. Because he impaled himself. He pulled like a sabot with his spear and hanged himself on the branches of Yggdrasil, like the small one that I told you. Because there's
If he stabs himself, how can he hang himself?
I think he probably got the gods to hang him up for him. Because when he stabbed himself, he's not dead, He's still, I guess, conscious in a sense. So he probably hang me up the tree.
Could he have hung himself up first and then stabbed himself?
How do you hang yourself and stuff?
Yeah. Or make like a.
Okay, so he hanged himself and he impaled himself. He stayed like that for 9 days. He stayed in the realm between the living and the dead for 9 days. So basically, he's in limbo for 9 days. He was starving. He was dehydrated. He bled out. He's sick. Everything. He got all the negative buffs you can get from an RPG game, right? But then after that, he's like, all right, bro, time to unhang myself. So he pulled his spear out, took his noose off, and boom, he now acquired the 50% that he lacked. So he acquired the knowledge of arcane magic. Aha, arcane, not the League of Legends one.
What's League of Legends?
Okay.
Good. He now knew everything. He now saw everything, and he understood the ancient runes and can even temporarily resurrect the dead. Now with all this new knowledge in him, his brain is gonna explode. So what did he do? He kept the knowledge inside his head, but he put his foresight on a throne, right, in Asgard, his throne. So when he sits on it, he can see all of it. But when he dismounts, he's now 50% less smart again. And that throne thing, I think Freyr actually sat on it for a day. And then he saw a really pretty woman and he wanted to marry her. But that's another story.
Sorry, can I just check, is Annabelle here? Elizabeth? No? Alison? Jennifer? Jennifer and...
Who's that?
Here, it's the head. 没有身体的头.
I know what that means.
Why?
Why? Who's this?
You will know in the next story. Okay. In order to further strengthen his control, well, he employed 2 crows. So he literally, he needs to be oh, I need to secure the security, the safety of the entire universe. So what did he do? He went to 2 crows and, hey buddy, wanna work for me? Bok bok. Free bread, bruh. And that's how he secured the safety of the universe.
With 2 crows.
Those 2 crows are his eyes, basically. So they would fly out because his knowledge of foresight, of all of vision, only sticks to one point. So he constantly needs new knowledge. So he's every morning he'll take these 2 crows, and then they'll start flying, and then they'll see new stuff and he'll get new knowledge. That's basically how he rules. He's the ultimate control freak. Now that's that. Second story is the Aesir-Vanir War. Now, if you remember, the Aesir and Vanir are 2 different gods. The Asgardians are the Aesir, and the Vanir are nature and all that. The Aesir are more society, humans, blah blah blah. And those 2 factions, they had a war. These 2. This is the Aesir, this is the Vanir. Now, Freya, the daughter of the main Vanir god, right? Basically Poseidon. The main Vanir god is basically Poseidon. Njord, he was basically Poseidon of the Norse mythology. Now, his daughter, Freya, was basically a wandering trader. You know those annoying Minecraft wandering traders? That's basically her. She was the most powerful practitioner of the mystic arts of Satyr, which is basically a form of magic that twists fate and brings about change. For example, making a moth become a butterfly. It's technically impossible, but can be imagined, and she can boom, you are now rich. So
Wow.
that's what she can do. Because in Norse mythology, fate is controlled by the same things as Greek mythology. You know, in Greek mythology, they spin yarn and all that. In Norse mythology, they also spin yarn and all that.
Whoa.
Yes. Now, the mystic art of satyr changes that yarn that the Norns, which are the Norse fates, spins. So she's really powerful, right? And what did she do with this magic? With this powerful enough spell that could end Ragnarok, that could kill all frost giants and evil monsters and all that. What did she do with this? She went around town and town and started selling it.
Wow, okay.
She's like, hey, I can make you rich, but you gotta give me 30% of your riches. Do we have a deal? Okay. Boom, you're now rich. She takes that richness, part of that gold, and goes away. She doesn't do anything else. She's literally a wandering trader.
Then what if you don't agree?
What? What? No, they all agree because men are selfish and they are.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
好会说自己。
And no. Anyways, she reached Asgard, right? The Asgardians are jealous of her powers and wanted to use them for self-benefit. You know? And then, so they started, you know, competing over her. Said, hey, you need to go to my house. No, go to my house. No, no. And then they nearly started to fight. But then suddenly the Asgardians realized, oh, why are we fighting on our own? But actually, they realized that their sense of honor and loyalty were undermined by their selfishness and their desires of power. But they don't want to admit this. You know, they'll say, oh my God, witch, you cast an evil spell upon my mind. You know what? Let's burn her.
Wow.
Is mine.
So they refuse to believe that they are actually bad. So they
blame it on Freya.
yeah, they blame it on Freya, calling her a Gulvig. So basically a gold digger. Let me write that down. You can insult people
Call her
with that.
Goofy.
What?
Oh wow, rude. Rude to Goofy. The dog.
The dog. I thought you were my column. Good.
My precious. My precious.
Gold digger.
Go dig for what?
Yes. They tried to burn her at a stake. You know, they burned her 3 times, and she was reborn every time.
Oh, ow.
Basically, the embodiment of a phoenix. Now, the Vanir were enraged, you know, because the Aesir tried to commit arson to their chief's daughter.
Let's go to Bird.
You know, they sent their favorite girl to, you know, to sell, you know, trade and after, and they started to burn her. Imagine what they do. Right? Now, both sides detested each other, and war broke out. This war is a giant war that lasted for centuries. There's no exact details about the war, but eventually both sides became tired, you know, and they decided to call a truce.
This
Right.
is much better than the Greek one. The Greek one was just fighting all the time.
Yes, but they're tired. And I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to go home and drink my beer, to have my fights with men.
This is good.
Not you, bro. So they want to call a truce. And so they did it through traditional Norse and Germanic customs, exchanging hostage tributes to each side. You know, so we give you some of our people, you give us some of our people. So if war's gonna break out again, we're gonna kill them, and then so you're gonna be afraid that we kill them. So you're not gonna wage war on me, and I'm not gonna wage war on you.
Oh, that's good.
So exchanging
It's better than
hostages.
Greek.
Yes.
The Greek was
smarter.
like fighting for the whole book.
Fighting everything. Now the Vanir got Honor and Mimir. Honor is an idiot, and Mimir is a super smart guy. The Aesir got Njord, Freyr, and Freya. So the Aesir got their chief's daughter, and their chief's son. Basically. Now the Vanir tributes. So Freya Njord and Freyr, they lived in peace. The Asgardians honored their treaty or something. The Aesir tributes didn't live in peace, right? So the Aesir gods that were sent to Vanaheim, they didn't live in peace. At first, because why? At first, Honir seemed to be giving valuable advice, super smart. But remember, Honir is the idiot, right? Actually, secretly though, he was just a puppet of Mimir. So Mimir would whisper secret words into his head, and then Honir would repeat them. So Mimir would be like, "Tell them to wash their socks on Sunday." And Honir said, "Guys, we should all wash our socks on Sundays and evenings."
What?
And then magical things would happen. It would turn out all right, and then they loved Honir basically. However, whenever Honir wasn't there, he would simply, whenever Mimir wasn't beside him, and then others asked for counsel from Honir, Honir just said, "Let the others decide." I was like, "No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever, man."
Why didn't he just admit that he wasn't the one?
Because it's a ploy, It's like this. It's a scheme by the Asgardians. Give him only one important guy and give him another useless, dumb, boom, fine. Right? So over time, the Vanir realized that they have been scammed. Enraged,
What a scam.
they cut off Honir's head,
What?
Honir and Mimir's head, and sent their corpses back to Asgard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like I say, this is what you get for tricking us. And then Odin, "Oh no! Nephew! Uncle! I don't care about you, nephew! Uncle!" So Odin, he needed Mimir's wise words, because Mimir is like an advisor. So good, so nice. That's Mimir. So Odin needed him, so he resurrected him, right? His dead head with some weird shaman fairy magic. Now, because of the scam, a war broke out again. However, since both sides are so tired, they decided to hold a truce once and for all. Therefore, each Vanir and Aesir god came together and spat in a little jar. So all the gods, probably thousands, tens of thousands, they came here and
What?
in a little
Thousands
pot.
of gods?
Yes, in a little pot.
Whoa.
In a little cauldron. And their combined saliva gave birth to Quasir,
What?
the embodiment of knowledge.
That is so weird.
Oh
So
my God.
technically, if you're smart, you just have more spit in you. That is the story's moral.
Wow.
And this story directly leads to another Odin story. The mead of poetry. I actually wanted to brew mead with you, but it's an alcohol.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard the word.
Yeah, nice.
The mead of poetry. Now, a mead is basically honey wine, fermented honey water. That's basically what a mead is. Now, remember Quasir, the guy that was born from sentient spit. Well, he's a smart ass. No, he's too smart. He's too smart, right? He can virtually answer any question. So he got bored, right? Quickly, he's like, "Oh, 3 most philosophical questions. Who am I? I'm Quasir, duh. Where am I? I'm in Asgard, duh. Where am I going? I'm important, duh." So boom, he answered all of those questions. And then he found life meaningless and boring. Because of his stupendous braininess, he traveled the world as a wise person giving counsel. Like Uncle Iroh, if you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No.
That's a shame. Now, one day he was invited to Svartalheim. Now, Svartalheim is the dwarf underground fortress thing. Svartalheim, right? The homes of 2 dwarves, not Brock and Sindri, all right? 2 evil dwarves, Shala and Galar. So Yalar is basically deceiver. and Galler is called the Screamer.
Oh, they killed him and turned him into meat.
Yes. The two dwarfs, 不讲武德, and strangled Voisir. They drained his body, like body's magical fairy
His
blood.
blood.
Yes, they drained his blood and used it to make mead.
Oh.
Oh my god.
What's
Ew.
mead? What's
I
mead?
remember this.
Mead is
the
like
most
a
awesome
fermented
one.
honey wine.
Yeah.
Why?
Drink it.
Because
No,
for
they
wisdom.
didn't drink it. So
Ew.
they made his blood into wine.
Just be wise. Why kill people?
The mead is
Why?
magical, right? And it contains Quasir's infinite knowledge. Anyone who drank it will become a poet or like a wise
Who
scholar.
wants to be a poet?
Well, paying poets make no money.
You know?
What?
And who would want to grow smart? Now, when the gods questioned them about Quasir's disappearance, the dwarf brothers told them that Quasir had choked on his own wisdom. So what does that mean? Part of the story's moral is to not show off, because you might invite trouble to you. Not show off.
And blood can be made into meat.
Yes, or else you will be drained of your blood and made into a wine-like substance to be enjoyed by others.
Wow.
It's quite weird. Now, turns out these dwarfs were psychopaths who enjoyed murder.
Okay.
They drowned a fisherman giant, because giant they need to eat, so they fish. So they drowned a fisherman giant for sport. Haha, die, midget. And they also smashed the fisherman's.
Oh, that's not very nice. He's a very good actor.
I know.
You need to be a little bit more.
No.
Let's just script the
Wait,
truth.
I don't know what I just said. Wait, he looks like some guy from Lord of
Game of Thrones.
He's from a lot of movies actually.
He's very nice. I love him. He's the reason I watched Game of Thrones.
Duh.
So, they smashed the dead fisherman's wife's head with a millstone because they're annoyed because she's crying because of her dead husband. That was
They
murdered
killed
by
him.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
She can still
But
cook
they
meat
didn't
for
know
heaven.
that the fisherman had a son.
Uh,
Plot twist, the son, Sutton. His name means heavy with drink.
so
Found-
basically drunk.
Yes, technically drunk. Found that out and kidnapped them. He stranded them on a small rock that would get flooded up once the tide rises. Now he made a deal with the dwarf brothers. Like he is willing to like save them if they gave him the mead of poetry. And of course,
Another person who wants to drink blood.
yes, and of course they did give it to him. Now he hid that under a mountain and has his daughter, Gunlod, guard it. Gunlod is very strong, very, very strong. Odin eventually found out and wanted to get his hands on Kvasir's magic juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people?
I know, right?
See, Odin needs that juice. So, Odin needs to get that sweet, sweet knowledge juice. So he decides the best approach will be acquiring
Oh,
it
that too is not very great.
Oh, he's so handsome.
Yes.
from by using someone close to Sutton. He discovered that Sutton had a brother, Baugi. He discovered that Baugi had a farm and there were 9 servants mowing hay for him. Boom. He showed them, like he turned into a little wandering trader. He went there, he showed them a whetstone, a 磨刀石. Showed them a whetstone. Right? And offered to sharpen one of their scythes for free. He did it. And the scythes can basically cut through stone with ease. And the servants said, "Oh my God, sell it to me, please." So he offered to sell it, but in return they must pay a high price. And then the servants agreed. So he chucked the stone at them. The servants fought for it. And amidst their battle, all of them were killed. Because they were fighting amongst each other.
Is he holding 2 axes or one big axe that has 2 weird handle things?
No, this is a whetstone.
No, he's
That's
sharpening the side.
Oh,
He's sharpening.
I thought that was wood.
A few days later, he introduced himself to Baugi under the name Bulwerk, worker of misfortune, basically. He offered to do the work of the 9 men in return for a sip of Sutun's mead. Now, Baugi doesn't have permission to that mead because Sutun is a selfish idiot. But he told Odin that he can try to convince his brother, and Odin agreed. So Odin actually worked as a farmer for at least a month.
Oh, wow.
Now they went to Sutun and asked for a sip. Sutun angrily refused. Yeah, I don't care if you're my brother. I like you done. You can go away now. They went away. Right? Now Odin came up with another approach. Sutun's daughter. And asked Baugi to take him to her dwelling. Baugi said that it's in a mountain. So what did they do? Odin told Baugi to honor their deal and gave Baugi an auger, which is like a drill, you know, like a drill. So Baugi drilled the hole in the side of the mountain,
What is that?
and Odin slipped in. Right? Odin turned into an extremely attractive man. Right? And he seduced Sutun's daughter. She eventually agreed to let Odin take 3 sips if he spends 3 days with her.
Actually,
Odin agreed and, well, spent 3 days with her. She showed where Sutun stored the magic juice. It stored it in 3 jars. Now, because their agreement was that 3 days, 3 sips. No, so 3. So, Odin, he technically honored the deal because he emptied each jar with 1 gulp. He's like,
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
you know?
And then?
So technically he did honor their
He
agreement.
drank all of it.
He flicked the minnow on her, he turned into an eagle and bailed out of there. No, Sutun found out and chased him, but he got intercepted by the gods when they both reached Asgard. He must flee. Odin now is home with refound knowledge. He did a little trolling and vomited the magic juice out of his stomach, where he stored it in a little jar of his own.
That's disgusting.
No, and all that juice came out into a little jar, right? A few drops, alright? A few drops spilled and fell to Midgard. I don't know how that works. They spilled and fell to Midgard, which became the source of all the bad poets, mediocre bard, and singers.
Wow, okay. That's where all our poetry came from.
Mediocre ones.
Okay.
The really good ones are the ones who are allowed to be given Odin's mead. See, the really good ones are the ones who drank vomit out of a little jar. Now, the moral of the story is that if you are good at writing, you drank an incredibly old guy's vomit in the past. If you are bad at writing, you drank an incredibly old guy's vomit in the past. Very nice. Class over.
Class over.
The tiger is
Yeah.
There's even grosser things to come.